All right, let's continue our mini lessons with Burnup Chart. Guys, what is Burnup Chart? It's a chart that shows how much work has been completed over time. In the vertical arrow, we have story points completed. Okay, story points. In the horizontal arrow, we have days of a sprint, just like burn down chart. In burn down, the chart showed us the burning down, the amount of work that is remaining, amount of story points that is remaining. But here we see amount of work that is being completed, that has been completed. Okay, so burn up chart is upward chart, but burn down is downward chart. But this is not the main difference, guys. The main difference is burn up chart help us detect scope creep. Wow. You're like, huh? How burn up chart help us to... Stay tuned, guys. Look at the blue line. Blue line is the total scope, total story points. Okay. So in the very first day of a sprint, the team should complete, for example, 20 story points. Okay. Now, if you've noticed, by day 6, around day 6, okay? Around day 6, that blue line, which should be constant, because when team commits to do 20 story points, it means the team should do 20 story points. I mean, we don't do changes mid-sprint in adaptive projects. You know that by now, okay? But that blue line jumps in day 6, jumps from 20 to around 22. What does this mean, guys? It means a client has requested a feature and team added that feature to that sprint's backlog. Now, the team, instead of completing 20 story points, they should complete 22 story points. So in day 6, scope creep has happened. So by looking at burn up chart, you could spot scope creep, guys. Isn't that beautiful? And red line, as you can see, red line shows the work that is completed. The red line starts at 0 and climbs as the team finishes the work. By day 5, they had completed 5 points. By day 7, they had 10 points. And by day 10, they had completed 17 points. Okay, they made already progress, but they didn't finish everything because there were scope creep in the, for example, project. So this is burn up chart. Let's wrap up our 2 beautiful charts, guys. Burn down charts is a chart that shows remaining story points or remaining work. Burn up chart is a chart, upward chart, that shows the completed work in each day of the sprint. Okay, and burn up chart help us to detect scope creep, but burn down chart help us to see if we are on schedule, behind the schedule, or ahead of schedule. Okay, awesome. Now, let's see what type of question you will get from burn up chart. Let's get it done, guys. Let's get this mini question done. You are a project manager reviewing a burn up chart for a multi-iteration agile effort. The chart shows that the completed work line is rising steadily, but the total scope line has been rising at irregular intervals. The team's throughput is consistent, but the release data or release date forecast keeps sleeping even though the team has not missed any commitment inside the iterations. Stakeholders argue the team's productivity must be declining because progress towards the release looks slower. What should you do first? A. Instruct the team to increase velocity targets in upcoming iterations to close the widening gap on the burn-up chart. B. Review scope increases with the product owner to confirm and address possible scope creep shown on the burn-up chart. C. Add a contingency buffer to the release forecast to account for irregular scope changes and present it to stakeholders as an adjusted schedule. And D. Rebaseline the total scope line on the burn-up chart using only the original backlog items to demonstrate the team's true productivity. Good question. This is exactly the type of question you'll get from burn-up chart, guys. Okay, what's the problem? We have the burn-up chart in the horizontal arrow, we have days of a sprint. In the vertical arrow, we have completed work. And we have two lines. First line is completed work. Remember that red line, the actual completed items, completed story points. And the blue line is total scope. The red line, which is completed work of the team, is consistent, normal, going like this. But blue line, total scope, is there are irregular up and down or rising in different intervals. So it signals us what? Scope creep, guys. The team is doing good. It is not team's fault. Somebody is not taking care of the scope. Somebody is letting the unauthorized scope into the sprints. That's why it looks like the productivity of the team has dropped. But no, the question clearly states that the team was consistent. Okay, we need to take care of a scope creep. So the best option here is, guys, option B. The first action, question asks for the first action. First action is sit down with PO, review the scope increases. Okay, why there are some irregular rising in blue line, in total scope line? Why? Review it with product owner to confirm and address possible scope creep. Let's address these creeps. Okay. This is the best option. Guys, let's use mindsets here. Option A, instruct the team to increase velocity. We never increase velocity in Agile. You know it, okay? Just sustainable pace. We don't force the team, hey, work harder, increase your velocity. This is by using mindset, you could eliminate option A. And let's use mindset for option D, rebaseline, the total scope line on the Burnup chart, using only. Only is a strong negative word. Eliminate that option. See, by using mindset, you eliminated two options, okay? And option C is incorrect because, guys, option C is like cheating. Option C is not caring about the scope creep. No, care about the scope creep. So option C doesn't address whether the scope is being properly controlled or validated. It suggests corrective actions. Let's accept the scope creep and let's add contingency buffer so we don't miss, for example, release date. No, this is not the way we handle problems in projects. Let's read the description, guys. Burnup charts separate productivity, which is completed work, that red line, from the scope growth, total scope line, that blue line. A widening gap with stable throughput signals scope creep or ungoverned scope expansion, not declining productivity. Reviewing with the product owner determines whether scope changes are controlled, value-driven, or inappropriate. Okay, we need to take care of scope creeps or mid-sprint request of the clients, guys, carefully. Now, let's continue our mini lessons with the tool and technique that is hard to pronounce for me, CFD. Let's get it done.